Okay, this video is going to do a problem from section 6.6, and basically they want you to match up the picture of the inequality with the equations. So as you can see, I have taken each equation here and written them on my paper. We need the equation to be in y equals mx plus b format in order to be able to look at the graph it, etc. So I'm just going to do a couple of examples of rearranging these equations here. So I see that I have my y, I have a positive 2x. You can think of this as kind of like two forces if you want to think of it that way. So I just need to move this piece or this term to the other side. So it's a positive 2x. I'm going to subtract 2x. Whatever I do to one side, I'm going to do the other. I'm also going to rearrange it so that it's in mx plus b format. So I'm going to end up rewriting y is greater than or equal to negative 2x, and this is a positive 1, so plus 1. And that's how that equation would be rearranged. Let's look at this one. I have 2y plus x is less than or equal to 1. Again, I'm going to circle my terms or my forces if you want to think of it that way. Again, I need to have this y by itself. So right away I see that I need to get rid of this positive x so that this force on the 2y will be gone. So I'm going to subtract x. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. And then I'm left with 2y is less than or equal to a negative x plus 1. Again, I'm rearranging this. Notice that my x is still negative, my 1 is still positive, and now I can solve for y. So I divide by 2. 2 divided by 2 is 1, or 1y. Whatever I do to one side, I have to do to both terms on the other, and I'm left with y is less than or equal to negative, if you want to think of this as 1/2 x or negative x over 2, I like to think of it as negative 1/2 x plus 1/2. Okay, this one here, you can see that x is by itself over here. I want to go ahead and move the y to the other side, and I'm going to move the x to the other side. So I'm going to do one step at a time. First, let me move this y. So this is a positive y. So I'm going to subtract that y. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. So now I have a negative y plus x. Let me rewrite that as a second step. So now I have a negative y plus x is greater than or equal to a negative 2. Now I can move the x onto the other side. Now I'm left with a negative y is greater than or equal to negative x minus 2. Now, remember this is not negative y, it's negative 1y, so I need to divide by a negative 1, but whenever you multiply or divide by a negative number with inequalities, it flips the sign. So I'm going to divide by negative 1, divide by negative 1, and I'm going to get y is less than or equal to a positive x plus 2. Okay, let's do this one here. So this one's pretty easy. Again, my forces, I'm just going to move this positive 2x term to the other side, and I get y is less than or equal to negative 2x plus 1. Let's go down here. So x is greater than or equal to y plus 2. So again, I need to move the y over, move the x over. This is very similar to that one we just did. So I'm going to subtract y. I get negative y plus x is greater than or equal to 2. Subtract my x. Negative y is greater than or equal to negative x plus 2. And again, this is a negative 1y, so I divide by a negative 1. Whatever I do to one side, I do to the other. Now, because I divided by a negative, I need to flip my sign. So y is less than or equal to a positive x minus 2. And then these last two, y is less than or equal to x plus 2. It's already in y equals mx plus b, and same with this, y is greater than or equal to x minus 2.